It's a funny thing that when I'm not working on hobbies or any task or anything that just is time consuming, I'm deep in thought. I like projects, I like working on projects, I like hobbies. I probably have too many hobbies actually, but the thing is that when you're afraid of being bored, you probably take on a lot more tasks than you should. I mean, it may be funny or maybe stating the obvious, but it's just one of those things that I think that when you are alone, they say that when you're alone, your true character will come out. A true person's character is what they do when they're by themselves. I mean, God knows a lot of the stuff that I've done when I'm by myself and no one's looking. I mean, I could say honestly, it's not terrible. The things that I do aren't like terribly bad, but again, it's just like when I'm just by myself. It's like I do get consumed with a lot of my thought patterns. And the fact is that I spend a lot of my time concerned about my relationship that I have to God. God has set the standard already in the Word. You read the Bible, and the Bible tells you what the standard of your life is supposed to be. It's in the Word of God. It's not something that you just kind of make up as you go. There's a lot of people that live like that. I mean, it's very true that people will, like in a nihilistic life, the people that just don't think that life means anything, I guess you have no choice but to make it up as you go along. Whatever the morality is, whatever the things that are in your life that mean anything to you, like if you're married, your spouse is going to be very important to you. If you're single, maybe making money. Like I've heard it said from some people before in the past that they were just like, oh, you know what? I'll have a lot of money to make before I die. I mean, it is nice to be able to make a living, It's nice to be able to do those things that are fulfilling. Biologically, we're born, we reproduce, and we die. Biologically speaking. But spiritually speaking too, we should be doing the same thing too. We're born again, we should reproduce, but when we die, it's our exit to everlasting life. Our exit to everlasting life. It's a long time. And when you put life in perspective, it's like a lot of these tasks that you could do for the glory of God, because you may have struggled with it. What is the purpose of life? You read the book of Ecclesiastes, and all of Ecclesiastes could be very disappointing. But it says at the end of the Ecclesiastes, all that matters is to glorify God and enjoy God. So if you're struggling for what the purpose of your life is supposed to be, try glorifying God, and the best way to glorify God is the instructions that Jesus has given us in the Bible. The Word of God is our guide. You've probably heard it said, basic instructions before leaving Earth. Basic, it's really basic, because the only way you could be happy is if you obey the Lord and do what counts for eternity. And of course, you gotta have a little bit of logic behind it and a little bit of rational reason. Not irrational reason, but rationalness, because when you kind of dig deep in your life and then you just see the things that just bring pleasure, but it's temporary pleasure, whatever it is. Like you plan a trip, a great vacation, to a wonderful destination. But the fact of the matter is that you're going to have to come back from that destination sooner or later. You could be gone for a long time, or until the money lasts, or until the money runs out, or whatever it is. So, yeah, I spend I spend time deep in thought, and I try my best to kind of think about it. Think about life, the meaning of life, and think about how to make your life count for eternity. Because right now counts for forever. That's not my word. I'm not sure exactly who said that, but it's the truth. Right now is you make your decisions, and you don't try to wait until, you know, well, maybe sometimes circumstances are a little bit better to make a decision, a big decision, but right now is the life changing. You could change your life now. Right now, this moment. So if you like any of my vlogging, let me know. If you don't, let me know too. But today it was just kind of a melancholy day. I mean, it's been kind of a crazy month for me so far, and that's just how life is, you know. They say life is what happens when you're making other plans. But whatever path you're on right now, ponder it for a minute. You know, sit back and look at the big picture, and see what counts forever and what's temporary. Everything's temporary on this earth, you know. I like to think that the world could be a place of harmony, but there's a lot of outside forces that kind of mess that up. And I think that if you come to terms with your life and your path and eternity and the meaning of life, I think you could, you know, right now counts forever. You can make those decisions that will